Hey, what's going on, guys? All on channel, Jose Forever here. I wanted to do a quick video, give you guys my thoughts. Microsoft's presentation at TGS 2022. I did a video last week, basically talking about what I expected Microsoft to do, or what I would have. Actually, it's more appropriate to say what I would have liked to see at Microsoft's presentation for TGS 2022. A lot of the stuff that I wanted to see, we didn't see. But overall, I thought the show was really solid, especially if you're an Xbox fan like myself. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to. I'm not going to make this very long. I tried to do a video on this topic, but it just wouldn't. I'm having all kind of issues with my setup. I don't have the best setup in the world, so basically that's why I'm doing it live. Again, I do apologize before getting any further into this video. I do apologize for the ambient sounds you might hear in the back. I really can't help it. And the reason why I say this though, because there's some people that are like, "Well, the broadcast wasn't bad. I couldn't hear anything." Well, that's because if it gets really bad, I tend to terminate the broadcast. Hey, what's up, Unlimited? What's up, brother? Yeah, hey, I gotta pay attention to the chat. Yeah, dude, I just wanted to give my quick thoughts, man. I mean, I tried to do a video, but it's I use Microsoft's recording, their game recording feature, and it doesn't. It just takes so long to upload it. Sometimes it doesn't upload for various reasons. So I just decided to do something real quick. Um, yeah, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on the TGS 2022. So, like I said, it was really solid. From what I saw, the presentation that they gave, there's a lot of stuff to be excited about, man. I don't want to feel like, or make it sound like I'm not excited about the show. I'm very excited about the show. But one of the things I really looked at when I was watching the presentation, well, there's a couple of things, man. It's kind of funny how people reacted to it, just because I think they thought in the terms of it being like a Microsoft event or just TGS in general. Yeah, dude. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, bro. Yeah, let me know what you thought too, because I really liked it. I thought it was solid. That's what I say. I mean, I did a video talking about it. I would have liked to seen some other things, and I was hoping for a little bit bigger announcements. But I mean, that's just me. But it was shorter than I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to do a little bit more. But it's just like it's par for the course now with Microsoft, right? They just hit you with a bunch of games, which I think was the best thing about the showcase, man. They just showed a bunch of games. But I thought it was funny, dude, because hey, what's up, Sega, man? Yeah, I'm just trying to do this quick video. I wanted to give my thoughts earlier, man. I've just been kind of busy, man. My daughter's a senior this year, so we're prepping all her stuff for college. Then my son graduates next year, and I think we have Game Pass, man. Like I listened to you guys, so I feel bad, man. I'm in on the like I was on your podcast. I just couldn't type because I was in transition, man. I was listening on my phone, and when I was driving, so I couldn't really type anything. But yeah, I like what you guys are saying, man. We just got so much stuff, dude. We got so much. We got so many games. I can't keep up, dude. And I made the mistake of buying Modern Warfare to get back into it. In anticipation of Microsoft owning Activision Blizzard, which will happen. I agree with you guys on that. With the commissions, that's like what I said in my other video, man. I hate regulatory agencies, man, because they normally feel. Look, dude, I work for the government, man. Dude, when you put these type of regulatory committees or any type of committee, basically, you have a lot of people that sit on these committees that have the title or they work in that job or work in that profession, work for the organization, but that doesn't mean they know what they're talking about, especially when it's broad range like it is with video games, you know. Because if you look at a lot of regulatory agencies and some of the questions they're asking, they're just mimicking what Sony's saying, right? I mean, if you're gonna question what Microsoft is doing or question the deal that Microsoft is doing, you should do some investigation, but they never do. I'm almost always guaranteed that the majority of the people on there just don't play games, right? Especially when they start parroting a company. And as I find it ironic because they're supposed to be looking at it as a monopoly and also to protect the consumers. But basically, it comes off as they're protecting Sony. So, oh, yeah, thanks, man. Oh, yeah, so I can put this up. Yeah, funny thing, a few days before TGS, Xbox fans were crying. Then a few days, yeah, I know, right? They were, man. They were like, "Where's our games? Where's our Japanese games?" And you know these people don't play it, dude. I'm sorry. I mean, look, I know people don't like hearing this, but Xbox, I know they reach out to the Japanese developers and then the community themselves, and they try and you know cultivate like a relationship with both the gaming community that likes JRPGs or Japanese type titles and the developers, both here locally and in Japan, right? But Microsoft is not known for that, which is unfortunate, man. I mean, they try and outstretch their hands. I mean, I think they're doing a better job. In fact, I'll talk about that. But let's be honest, man. A lot of these guys, it's all for clickbait, or they're just jumping on the bandwagon because they got nothing else to talk about. This is why I like watching you guys and listening to you guys. Not only are you guys Xbox guys, but you're able to like, be entertaining, right, and informative at the same time. When I hear a lot of people just mimicking the stuff, like with the whole Bonnie Ross thing, none of these people know. Like I know Brad Sams, he has a little bit of inside information, I guess, but I'm like, dude, why are you commenting on this? Nobody knows. The only people that know is Bonnie Ross, the people at 343 Studios, and the higher ups in Xbox, right? And I'll be honest with you, man. I mean, I feel for her because if it was me, I would have stepped a long time ago, and I wouldn't have said something like, if that's the case. I don't know what the story is and stuff like that, but it just shows how privileged and ungrateful a lot of these gamers are, man. Because I have issues with Halo, but it has nothing to do with the gameplay. I don't care that we don't have a lot of content, right? Because it's Halo, dude. I'm just playing the multiplayer. Where I did have a problem with the multiplayer, it's kind of like with me too, because of where I live. I understand that. But I thought that 343 could do a little bit better as far as their servers and stuff like that. But then I also cognizant of the simple fact that they're doing a live service game, and if you play Halo, man, you understand that they have some stuff in the background going on because it's a live service game. They're doing things with that multiplayer that's never been done before with Halo, right? And I'm just not talking about cosmetically or the actual gameplay. All of that stuff's tight. Like on the cosmetic aspect of it, right? It's just yeah, okay. I would like more content as well. It'd be great if they had Halo armor that looked like the Mandalorian, right? Because I'm a nerd. That's the kind of stuff I like. But it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna hate on Halo for that, which I find ironic because these are guys are supposedly fans, but they sound like they just hate Halo. Like you can be disappointed, man. You can share your viewpoint, dude. I'm critical of a lot of stuff myself, but ultimately, when you listen to these guys, it's like, do you guys actually like Halo? I mean, do you want them to do better? Because that's what I want them to do. I want them to be better because I like Halo, because I'm gonna be playing it regardless of what's wrong with it. It's just it's not the same uh, gaming community, right? So then, and that's the other thing too. Like I got out of the Tokyo Game Show because just by reading some of the comments, like some people are like, "Wow, that seemed kind of different from E3, or it's a little bit different from Gamescom." Which basically they were saying, "Wow, it's very Japanese centric," is what they're trying to say, right? Because I mean, I don't know about you, but Tokyo Game Shows, you never really like growing up, hearing about Tokyo Game Show and stuff. We got all that information through the media, and I'm talking print media, not really video. And then the internet came on board, and then you get some stuff. But I don't ever remember a time Tokyo Game Show was like this, where they're actually presenting, and not just Microsoft, but just various companies. In fact, I'm still not finished watching everybody's presentations. Like I want to watch 505 games. Like I watched Capcom, that was pretty cool. Um, I mean, considering everything, I mean, after seeing some of the stuff with Street Fighter Six, I'm actually a little bit more excited about it. But on the Microsoft front, man, I mean, those fighting games that they were showing, because I love Blaze Blue. I know everybody doesn't like it, probably because of the battle system. And I'll be honest with you, the battle system is probably not the best. I have no problem with it. I think it's okay, but that's not what I play the game for. It's about the style of the game. It's so stylized. It's like the over the top, the animation, right? The action animation, all of that stuff, dude. I just love it. So, and I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying the battle system is bad. It's just that's not the selling point for me. So when I saw that, I bought it. In fact, my daughter's kind of looking forward to playing that as well, just because it looks so good, right? Which was the draw for me from the very get go. So because of that, and then they have the wait, Blaze Blue is the I think they're going to do the crossover in Blaze Blue. And then I forgot what the other game was. But they're coming out with a lot of good fighters, man. I was pleasantly surprised. I was expecting that at all. I thought maybe they show like Street Fighter 6, which I believe we're getting as well, right? They're not gonna keep it. I guess they learned their lesson from Street Fighter 5. For some reason, and I understand like if you're a small company, that's maybe you don't have the resources and stuff like that, but they're Capcom. And all that did is I just played other games. Like I'm that kind of person. I don't care if you bring your stuff to our console or not. If you make that choice not to bring it, then fine, right? And especially with the way Game Pass is, I think eventually everything's going to come to Xbox. Like, I think they can't ignore the subscription service, and especially the numbers. That's why I want Microsoft's numbers to grow even more, right? So that they don't have to worry about that. But yeah, overall, when I saw the fighting games, that's the first thing I bought. I was like, man, I gotta get a fighting stick because I need one right now because I got the Street Fighter collection. I got some games that I want to play, and I just can't play it on the controller. At least to pull off the combos and stuff like that. So I'm definitely gonna probably get that. I looked up on Amazon. It's like what $175 for the Ori. So I'll probably get that one. That looks like to be the best one for me. What else did they do? And just like overall they just were showing game after game. And the thing that I thought that was really great about it is all the hate that Microsoft's been getting all these years, and then everybody's more than happy to give their advice. I do that myself about what they should or should not do. It's kind of cool to see that Microsoft actually has their own roadmap, right? Like you were saying, I believe it was you Unlimited who was saying, or might have been Sega Man, but one of you guys was saying that in the podcast, right? How everybody was like, how Mooch them is like, yeah, I want to see a roadmap. Well, here you go. You got to read between the lines, right? And for I know for some of these guys it's hard, right? But basically, Microsoft is just following what they did in the U.S. to turn things around for the Xbox One, right? Is basically they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink, but they actually there's a method to their madness, and that includes AAA titles, that includes buying studios, that includes making deals with third-party studios, on growing Game Pass, focusing on Game Pass. ID at Xbox has been a gold mine for them. I love ID at Xbox. It's been great because it's just basically killed the narrative that Xbox has no games, right? Because it's like all of us are suffering right now. I do. My backlog is absolutely ridiculous. I can't stand it. I got so many games. I just bought 4 more games because they're going off of Game Pass, right? And I actually like them. Like I played them and I know I like them, so I was like, okay, I'll try and focus on other stuff. Or try and finish up other stuff. And then what ended up happening, but time goes by, and then you keep on getting distracted. You keep on getting distracted, and then all of a sudden, you're stuck at looking at a bunch of games that are leaving the service soon. And I'm like, dude, has it been a year already? I know some of them leave a little bit early. That's something that I think Microsoft should try and work on a little bit. But again, that might not even be Microsoft, right? It's the deal that they have with the developers themselves. Um, but it's just ridiculous the amount of games we have. Mooch in 2018 said he wanted a roadmap in 2022. He's crying. Game Pass has an unfair advantage to Sony. Really? Is he? Is he saying that, dude? Because I don't watch him anymore. He actually said that Game Pass has an unfair advantage to Sony and must help them. Dude, that dude was always suspect, man. That dude was always sus. The one thing I liked about him when he did the stuff with Z and all these guys and crap back in the day was at least they were entertaining. Right, but that's if he's saying that, that's sad. I mean, because yeah, I don't listen to these guys anymore. You know what irritates me, bro? Is like I'll put on one of our videos to watch. Like say I'll watch NWO Prime or something that Sega Man did, or your videos as well. So our videos, like if you have gameplay, some of them tend to be shorts like E-Rocks, right? Um, and so what happens was like it'll play, and then it'll play something else. It'll play like another video, and it tends to be one of these dudes that I can't stand. And if like I'm driving or I'm at the gym, right, and I can't like change the thing, dude, I have to sit there and listen to him. Like if like I'm trying to finish my set, or if I'm picking up my kids, driving on the way to pick up my kids or going shopping and stuff like that, dude, I have to wait till I can like grab my phone and click and cancel it, dude. So like my history has their videos on there, but you can see like on my history, it's like maybe like a couple minutes in, and then it stops. And I can't listen to them, man. They just piss me off. These guys just piss me off. And they never apologize, man. These guys have been taking L's for like years now, and they never apologize. And they keep on doing the same stupid thing. That's why I gave up listening to a lot of Xbox guys. I can't handle it. Right? They keep on parroting stuff that people who are not Xbox fans talk about. and then they parrot the gaming media, which is absolute trash, right? It's kind of funny how they have to change their tune, and you have a couple people out there who have seen the light, right? But it's very rare, right? And it's very few. But then the majority of them, even on our side, man, like the guys that do on podcasts on lock, man, it's just like, dude, just say that Xbox is killing it, dude. Just say that you know, Xbox is gonna dominate because that's what they're trying to do. I don't watch them either. I just see their nonsense on my Twitter feed because I never block anyone. Twitter thinks I want to see every dumb thing they say. Yeah, that's how Twitter is. Yeah. My Twitter got destroyed a couple times, so I don't have to worry about it. I just never went back and followed him, right? Because I post psychotic stuff on Twitter. So there's every once in a while my Twitter account gets kind of nuked. Um, yeah, Twitter is another one, man. But I thought it was funny, man. Like on social media, people are like, "Oh, it seems like like they're trying to describe what it is," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it's this is the Tokyo Game Show. This is not the Electronic Expo, right?" And even Gamescom, man, people are complaining about the way that people are talking or the way they ask questions or the questions they ask. And I was like listening to them, like, dude, you guys know that English is their second language. They're in Germany, bro. They're in Europe. It's kind of cool that we get to see it. It's kind of cool that they kind of tailor that to us in a way, man. They realize that America is a big market. Well, except for Japan. Japan don't care. Japan's in their own little world, but at least in Europe they kind of do that way, even though they're more stronger on PlayStation. But when they do these events and stuff like that, it is for a broader audience. But I mean, I'm not going to hate on somebody because they localize some of the production, which makes sense to me, dude. I don't know. But Japan don't care. Japan goes so like some of their programming and stuff. So like, of course, like when they're doing the live events, like when you guys do your podcast, right? Like E-Rock and Hebot, and you guys like say your funny stuff. You guys are entertaining on top of saying what needs to be said, right? And then you guys are able to pull stuff from various resources as well as your own, and then present it in the way that you know people find it entertaining, not just entertaining but knowledgeable too. And then when you watch you watch the Tokyo Game Show, it's kind of like the way they speak and how proper they are, and a little bit more conservative, of course. And um and then the ones that are entertaining, right, they do the kawaii thing and stuff like that, and you can see the people struggling with that. I thought it was funny. I'm not saying everybody, but if you weren't expecting it to be that way, I can see where you could have an issue. But yeah, but I thought it was really cool that Microsoft is basically just taking what they've done here and they're taking it over to Japan, except they're focusing more on the Asian market, right? And what I mean by that is also the developers and stuff like that. So it was cool of Sarabon to say like they got over what 200, I believe. It was like 200 developers. No, 200 indie developers, I think, or it could be AAA. It could be the whole lot, but basically they're just mimicking what they done in the US, and I think that's the most important thing. I wanted to do a video specifically about that because for me it's just like if you're Microsoft, just be Microsoft. Don't try and be a company trying to be Japanese. Just be an American company in Japan, right? And then you present them what your vision is and see if they like it or not, right? And present the very very best of your vision. And of course, take into consideration cultural norms and maybe listen. And of course, if they're your consumers, listen to your consumers. But if you're gonna sell yourself as you are. That's I think the difference is Phil Spencer is that type of person. He's a total gamer, so he focuses on the games. And since he does that, right, he focuses on the games. It's multicultural. It doesn't have to be specifically Japanese games, right? I mean, as far as like, okay, we have to really really push ourselves on this stuff, right? They're basically going to these developers, they're going to the gamers, and it's like, look, how can we help you? What do you want? How can we do this? Right, which is what Microsoft's been doing here and in Europe. Right, I think that's what their winning formula is because it's like, look, we're here with Microsoft. This is what we do. Now how can we help you? Right? And I think when the people see that, this is how we get Uden Chronicles, which I absolutely love. I can't wait for 100 Heroes, man. That looks awesome. And then because they've been so open and I think forthcoming with a lot of developers, right, won a lot of their respect as well as their confidence, man. And you see that with the games that we're gonna get, right? Like Nino Kuni, it's funny to me. People lose their mind about that game. I remember it being popular, but I don't remember it being that popular. So there's a part of me that's like, okay, we're gonna get it on Xbox, but hopefully it's just not BS, right? It's just not people saying stuff to say stuff. like people on social media do. Like, oh yeah, that's a day one buy. I'm gonna get that, and then they don't buy the game, like that kind of thing. Because I think Nino Kuni is an excellent game, but I don't know. I can't gauge how many people actually are gonna be buying it or playing it. I mean, it's in Game Pass, right? So it's gonna be in Game. Well, no, it is in Game Pass, or going to be in Game Pass. I'm sorry, dude. I'm just like wrecked with all kind of stuff that I can't really keep up. But I like that. I like that they're doing that. I like that they're being Microsoft and giving the option to the people in Japan and in Asia, right? And I know we like to focus on Japan, but I definitely hope Microsoft starts switching over to South Korea. I mean, they got developers over there as well. There's a couple games that I see that are coming out from South Korea that I really wish they would get behind. And I think there's people. I know we got what Liza P. Um, they interviewed the developer at Gamescom, which I thought was pretty cool. And they have a bunch of studios that are well, they have fledgling studios like that Microsoft can get into because that's what they're doing here. That's what they did here. That's what they did in Europe, and that's what they're doing in Japan now, right? Building those relationships. And I would, if I were them, I'd go all across Asia because Tencent is going to be a big competition, big threat to me, right? I'm not too worried about Embracer, though they are somebody to keep an eye on. But Tencent definitely, and that's why I like the way Phil Spencer in his interviews mentioned that and how Phil Spencer brought a lot of that stuff to the forefront as far as people worried about what Microsoft's going to do with Activision. It's really nobody's business. If they're buying it, man, they can do whatever they want. And like I say, dude, I'm a scorched earth kind of guy, so I don't care if PlayStation guys continue to play it or not. If I was Phil, I'd pull Activision off of every PlayStation console. Maybe not the legacy stuff. Nah, to take that stuff too. The way Sony's been acting, dude, it's really disappointing, man. I'm not gonna lie. I did a video talking about Jim Ryan, like basically making a case for him as the head of Sony, because it seemed to me at the time like he was course correcting a lot of the stuff. But Sony's basically, still stuck in that '90s mode. And in fact, I'll go as far as to say, their fans like to say Xbox was holding the generation back. No, it's definitely PlayStation and Sony that's holding the generation back because they just don't want to play with everybody else. They want to stay, they want to keep their toys, play with their toys, and take it home. They don't want to share it, and that's not going to work out, man, because everybody's switching. Even Nintendo's getting into the mix, right? And then you got Steam, and then these other big corporations getting involved. So if they don't change, so at least in that sense, I thought, what's his name, Ryan, Jim Ryan was going to be better. But boy, was I wrong after seeing what he was doing with the Activision deal, which I think is sad. I remember Sony that used to be made of sterner stuff, as Optimus Prime would say. Like I remember a Sony that actually competed. They were cocky, but out of that cockiness came at least some innovation, right? Or greed, right? With the multi-tap and all that crap. Generations, all the taglines. But at least back then they were competitive. Now, Dave Jaffe had a good take on it when he was talking about Sony and how weak they look, right? Because they're not competing and they're being led by the nose, basically. I mean, they're basically begging Microsoft, right? And I know they're trying and come off as hard, but you can't with Microsoft, man. Microsoft has too much money, dude. Microsoft is huge. In that sense, some of these regulatory committees are right. Where they're wrong is they can't include Microsoft in that. They have to look at the overall picture, right? And the overall picture is the gaming departments. So again, that's why I was like proud of Sony. I mean, Phil when he was talking about Sony and the Activision deal and the stuff Sony was saying. He just kept on bringing it back around, right? And basically putting out the facts and stuff like that, because that's what it boils down to, at least for me. So yeah, kudos to Phil, man. And Sarah Bond represented, man. I like a lot of the stuff that she said. I like the excitement level that she has, and that she's, it's organic. She's on the ground floor with these guys, which is what they're going to need, because not every AAA title will probably come to Xbox. Which personally, I would just be honest with you, dude. I don't care if it does or not, dude. I'm the type of person like, look, if you don't want to bring your games to this system and you just want to focus on this other system for whatever reason, dude, whether you're getting paid off or whether you're a small company, dude, you make your choice. That's fine. I make my choice, right? I'm in my own ecosystem. But I just let it be known, man. I'm one of these guys that I kind of loyal to the people that's been loyal to us, right? So a lot of these games that come over, like I felt bad. I saw the announcement for Song of Iron. 2, and I haven't even bought Song of Iron, and I meant to buy that, and it just got lost in the shuffle because I think I started playing Hades. You just get lost with all the games that we have. So then I course correct, dude. I'm gonna like, okay, I'm gonna pick that up because I think it's on sale too. So I'll play the first one to prep for the second one. Yeah, I gotta stop playing Modern Warfare, man. Modern Warfare is just distracting me too much. Um, yeah, but overall, man, I thought it was a solid show, very solid show. Looking forward to what we're getting. I mean, games have dropped already, and then games will continue to drop. And that's like you were saying, how people were crying. Unlimited was saying how people were crying um, about the announcement, and that Microsoft seemed like it would be left out. And the first thing I thought when I saw that is like, dude, how do you know? How do you know that you're going to be left out? We don't know. We don't know the deals Microsoft is be making. And if these guys definitely, this is why I know these guys don't have Xboxes and don't play Game Pass, right? Because these are the same people that complain that we have no games, right? But then if they were playing, if they were on Game Pass, if they had an Xbox and they were playing these games, right? They would know that we've got a ton of games. So what Microsoft does is like they'll announce games that are coming to Game Pass. Like the last one, people are like, oh, the September, people were like, oh, those games don't look good. And look at all the games they dropped that wasn't even announced. And it's been like that for the last year. They've been doing that stuff. And I know that for a fact because I'm scrambling trying to find time to play these games. Dude, it irritates me that some of the games I just forgot about it. And I'm like, dude, I didn't even finish or even continue playing. And it's definitely a problem worth having. I'm not complaining, you know. And this is why I also don't care about AAA titles. Not that I don't care, but like when people talk about, oh, we don't have any AAA titles, I'm like, so, dude, I got like 55 million games I gotta play. Not even counting my backlog of games. Okay? I'm fine. I'm good. And in 2023, they release them, right? I prefer them to just do the best job that they can, add whatever they need to, make sure that it's solid. Because if it's not solid, then they're gonna get a lot of hate for that, right? So they gotta come correct. And it's just the overall bad takes, man. Like I said, some of these guys, I don't intend to watch their videos, but they pop up on my feed, right? I should turn off that automatic play. And just the takes from the first couple minutes are just bad when you talk about that kind of stuff. These dudes, I don't know. They say they're Xbox guys. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. But yeah, let me wrap this up really quickly. Thank you guys for dropping by, man. I just wanted to do something really quick. Like I said, I was having trouble with my video. I'm trying to post it up. So just basically, I just should go ahead and pay for StreamYard, and because I'm looking to do my podcast more regularly and put out more information, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's just stuff that people aren't talking about, which blows my mind. Unlimited, Sega Man. Hey, what's up, Mr. Kimo? E-Rock, Hebot, of course, NWO Prime, and Kenny Jago, man. Kenny Jago puts out some great information out there. But, Mr. 100. But a lot of guys are just not talking about this stuff. Like I hear people like, oh, like, it's dry. Xbox don't got anything. Like, dude, you can make a video like every day with all the stuff Xbox is doing. Now, if whether people will be interested in that or not, I don't know. But I definitely want to put out more content for everybody out there. And it's not like, I'll be honest with you guys, dude. It's not about the channel and stuff like that. It's just about putting out content out there, just speaking truth to power. Because there's so much false narratives out there. Like the whole thing with Game Pass. It's when people tell me there's no games on Xbox has no games. Game Pass is trash and all this kind of stuff. If you have that type of opinion, they're not even worthy of being considered. Your opinion is not even worthy of being considered. It's that bad. It's that bad of a take. Right? It's funny to me because there might I would take you more seriously if you say something like, well, there's just games on there that I'm not interested in. Okay, not there's not. You're not gonna like every game on Game Pass because it's so multifaceted and it covers so many genres, right? Like for myself, there's some games on there that I can tell I won't like. I'll try them out, but because of the type of game they are, but I might be surprised, and that's kind of the fun part about it, dude. It's like having a birthday every day for Game Pass, dude, because you never know. Like there's a game I'm playing, I can't remember the name of it. It just released in the September one, and I thought it was gonna be like a Japanese RPG or kind of a platformer, and it's basically it's a story driven. It's got somewhat RPG elements, very light, more sim, right? And then it has some platforming elements and stuff like that. And it's an amalgamation of all types of different genres. But the selling point for it, which is something that I like about it, is the story. The story is solid, and it made me feel bad because I'm playing this game. I started playing because I just wanted to check it out, and then like 6 hours later, dude, I was still playing it to the point where I had to stop. So I'm like, dude, I'll be playing this all day because the story was so good that I was deeply involved in the character and the storyline. Yeah, I mean the story writing on this game was so much better than like the stuff that they put out now, like that studios are putting out now on a mass scale, on a mass budget. I mean, it was funny to me that it takes because I guess at its core, right, especially in the indie market when it comes to gaming, right, at its core, it's very they understand what they're trying to do and they have everything set up. When a lot of these big productions, it's all about it's just about the production value and then overloading and getting people to get as much money as they can and stuff like that. But at least at the core, and it's probably why I get Xbox the most. At its core, it is about the games, right, and it is about them trying to tell their story or trying to put out their game the way they like it. So their creativity is there, and that's what I'm drawn to the most. But yeah, it's like that all the time, dude. Like out of all the games they released in September, there's 5 of them I'm playing right now, or kind of playing. But I haven't even touched the Disney game, which I want to try. Right? But first world problems, right? And that's the kind of problems that any gamer would want to have. Anyway, let me wrap this up, man. Thanks for dropping by. Hey, Mr. Kimo, thanks for coming by. Unlimited, Sega Man, and everybody else who dropped in. Appreciate it. I'll try and do more videos like this, but not making any promises. Hopefully, I'll get something out later on this week. But anyway, man, Xbox All In channel, host Sega Forever. We out.